Florida's I-4 corridor, from Daytona Beach in the east to Tampa in the west. It could just be the most sought-after stretch of land that exists this election season. Though signs of failed businesses and foreclosures are rampant along this corridor, politically speaking, it's among the nation's hottest properties.
The I-4 corridor is fondly called the highway to political heaven. If you win the I-4 corridor, you win Florida. And the saying goes, if you win Florida, you win the White House.
It should come as no surprise, then, that Republicans chose Tampa to host the Republican convention. Mitt Romney desperately needs Florida's 29 electoral votes to win in November. And right now, with polls showing the race in a virtual tie, the stakes couldn't be higher.
Republicans cannot win the White House without winning Florida, because there are a number of states that are solidly Democratic. There are fewer states that are solidly Republican.
But Democrats aren't taking the nation's largest swing state for granted either.
We're looking for volunteers.
Barack Obama won Florida in 2008 with 51% of the vote. But since then, while other parts of the country have seen slow economic recovery, Florida has lagged behind. Unemployment is higher here than the national average, and the housing crisis hit this region hard, fueling huge numbers of foreclosures. Some here lay the blame directly on the president.
Honestly, I thought he was going to do a great job. I thought he was going to turn everything around, but Obama hasn't done anything that he promised he would do.
Republicans believe Florida's economic crisis gives Mitt Romney a leg up. But many of the swing voters we've talked with, like Dallas Nanarello, a former entertainment executive who is now unemployed, don't believe either candidate has the answer.
For the first time in many, many years, I'm actually considering not voting. I'm not supporting either candidate at this point. I'm not happy with their policies, with their stances.
One potential bright spot for President Obama, an expanding Puerto Rican community, particularly around Orlando. Unlike Florida's Cuban Americans, who have historically provided an active support base for Republicans, Puerto Ricans tend to vote Democratic, and their numbers are growing. But while many say they do support the president, others warn they're not ready to jump into that decided column just yet.
I feel like this time I have to go above and beyond to research to make sure that I make the right choice.
That's not lost on President Obama, who visited this popular Puerto Rican lunch spot earlier this month. Polls suggest somewhere near 95% of Florida voters have already made up their minds, which makes connecting with that last 5% all the more crucial. Kelly Daschle, Associated Press, Orlando, Florida.